Hey, Jenny Jones, Digital Growth Hacks Club. All right, so listen, like for you guys to join in. This is going to be pretty exciting. It's pretty late because we had to try to make sure that we connected with the founder. They're in another country, and we wanted to try to make sure things worked out. So we're going back and forth. We're just trying to make sure that he's able to join when he's able to join. Let me see if he got my message. Hopefully, he got my message. I think he did get my message. Hey, so you guys just joining in. You guys make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure we let YouTube know. What's funny is if you don't have a YouTube channel, then you don't really realize how important it is to get thumbs ups or comments or anything like that. It's only when you have a YouTube channel. So now when I go on other people's live streams or I'm going to their videos, I'm appreciating their video, at least with a thumbs up, letting them know that you appreciate it and you want them to bring more of that. And so I consume a lot of content as well. So who's here? Who's here in the building? Who's here? Let me know if you guys in the chat. Let me know if you guys can at least hear me. Again, every time I had a major catastrophe tonight. I don't even want to tell you what happened, but we're gonna before the founder gets here, we may just try to look at the deal again, but he should be joining. Hopefully. I think he got my message. I think he did. Who's here? Of course, Anthony. Anthony's here. Thanks for joining, Anthony. Thanks for your support. Did can you hear me, Anthony? Is everything sound cool? I think you're saying everything sounds cool. I'm not really sure. Who else is here? Who else is joining us? Where are you from? Let us know where you're from. The founder, I think we were playing email tag, trying to make sure he got the right link. So hopefully he got it. I'm over here looking. I think he's got it. So hopefully he should be joining here soon. Where you guys tuning in from? So I know where you guys are tuning in from. Because I know it's late. All right. Oh, Freddie's in that. Freddie, man, this must be late, man. You're probably getting ready for your bedtime, right? Where you're at, man. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I'm excited about Agency Handy. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the founder audio's good. All right, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I've been working on mics, man. For the last year, I've been working on mics. I've been working on video. I've been, man, just trying to get it right, trying to perfect it for you guys out there. Um, I have no idea. Let me try to ping him again. Let me see where he's at. Let me see. Man, I just stumbled upon a hack today. I don't even know. If you guys are nice, man, if you guys are nice, I might give you this hack. I know Anthony be trying to take my hacks. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take Jenny's hack, man. I'm gonna steal Jenny's hack, man. I'm gonna introduce it to my people and tell them it's my hack." I know what you're doing, Anthony. I know what you're doing. I'm just giving you a rough time. All right, so I don't see him. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do one other thing. Let me try this WhatsApp. We got Perry's in the house. What? Perry's in the house? Perry, you should be asleep. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Oh, that's right. Perry be up late. Yeah, Anthony's laughing. He's like, "You laughing, but some truth to that." Oh man. All right. So the founder's trying to come on. I have no idea where he's at. Uh and shoot, he better come on as late as it is here, man. It's like, hey, let me see. Let me see. Um, Let me see. The chat on the So what are you guys looking for out of this tool? What kind of questions you guys have? Load your questions. And again, I have no idea. Oh, he's coming now. Oh, he said give him a couple minutes. He's on his way. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right. Did you upgrade your mic, sir? I did. How does it sound? You like it? Did you like it, period? I'm trying, man. Listen, man, I'm trying. I'm trying to upgrade. Yeah, updated. I upgraded my mic. No, so to be honest with you, I bought this mic maybe 6, 7 months ago, but it would not run with my current setup. I mean, it has so much stuff, and it was like it wouldn't run. So I had to wait. I had to get another MacBook and all that other stuff, and I had to just get man, it's hard being in this freaking business, right? You want to try to have the best audio, best sound, best video for everyone. And so I appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds better. I'm glad you recognized it. Thank you. Um, yeah, so yeah, it sounds much better. Yeah, I appreciate that. Night owl. Yeah, you're a night owl. All right, so you guys got any initial questions? Because he already said he's what did he say? 2 minutes. He said 2 minutes he's gonna be hopping on. So I just wanted you guys to know any so I had thought about so I'm really I don't know if I'm a max stack this tool right. Let's take a look at it really quick. And let's even see if it's max stackable. Is that a word? We're gonna make it a word, max stackable. All right, so let me see here. So let me see. Let me move that out of the way. So let me share video here. Oh no, I don't want to share video. I want to share screen. Let's see. Hey, Hourglass is in the house. What's up, Hourglass? Strong supporter of the channel. I really appreciate that. All of my supporters are showing up. You guys are the best. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. So until he comes on, said he's running late. He's on his way. If he's anything like me, he's trying to explain a lot of stuff to his wife. Hey, this is why I'm on late, but I'm doing that. I think where he's at, I think it's super early. So let's look at this really quick. And is this tool even is it max stackable? Let me get your vote in there because what it is, yeah, he's gonna be here. So what it is I have a tier. What did I get? A tier, I think I got a tier three. I do. I have a tier. No, I have a tier four. I got a tier four. So I got a tier four. I got a tier four because I wanted 10 workspaces. So to me, 10 workspaces was enough. Hey, welcome to Hack Pack 4. Um, Hourglass, I thought you were in my community. You never joined my community. I send you all these invites, you never join. Maybe it's me. Is it my breath? Is it my deodorant? Because I send you these invites, you never join. Anyway, so shout out to Hourglass. Um, right, Hack Pack 4. All right, so listen, what do you guys think? It's so a tier five. This is a tier four with 10 workspaces. Now, to me, 10 workspaces is a lot, but it really depends on how you want to ultimately use this tool because a tier five is $1,000. The tier five gets you 15 workspaces, right? It gets you 15 workspaces. That's a nice jump though from eight. That's almost a $200 jump. They get you 15 workspaces, 10 custom emails. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys? Shout out to Jenny with the Jews. Hey, Coco, Chris, what's up? Um, what do you guys? Coco, Chris, Coco, Chris. That's crazy, man. You guys in your YouTube names. So, what do you guys think about this? Is this a full stacker or not? Before they get on, it might be a full stacker when he's done with you guys here. Uh, so what are you guys thinking on? Is this a tier five full stack or no? What are you guys thinking? Tier three is enough? Yeah, tier three is enough because tier three gives you five work for me because I run three companies. I could definitely use up these 10 workspaces. I don't know if I can use up 15. Matter of fact, I got four filled up now, and I'm probably going to do two more by the end of the year. So, yeah, I probably won't even fill the 10. I probably fill maybe eight, but I definitely needed more than five. So Hourglass said, "Hey, listen, tier three is enough." He's like, "Hey, man, tier three is enough." What about you guys? What are you thinking? Perry, Anthony, Freddie, what are you guys thinking? What are you thinking in your wisdom? I know Fred Freddie, you probably changed. Freddie's changing his game though. He's got a lot of tools. So he's Rashik, he's joining now. So I'm gonna pull him in a second. I just want to see which one of the tiers you guys think is enough for agency handle. Um, I think tier 3 is enough unless you're gonna use it for something else. Objective, I think for your objective, I think tier 3 to 4 max. Okay. 3 is definitely enough with the 5 brands. Okay. He's going to be joining on. I'm about to pull him on in a second. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us and until he's able to show up, but he is here now. Let me add him to the stage. Welcome to the show, Rashik. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. I was like, man, I stayed up late for this guy, man. He's got to be here. He's got to be here. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, we appreciate you showing up. My community is very, very excited. Not only my community, but the AppSumo community. Everybody's getting pretty hyped up about agency handy. So just want to give you a couple minutes. I'm gonna put you in a single shot here, so you can kind of tell us what is agency handy and how did the idea come about?
Right. So basically, Agents Handy started with sort of my other product as well. So like, I have a different product in project management space. So
Sure.
when I was reaching out to a lot of agency owners for the project management, sort of like an alternative to ClickUp or Notion, what I understood that although a lot of people were using project management software in general, there was a bit of something was missing. So like, I realized that project management is just a small part of what they do. There are a lot of other stuff that they also have to end up doing in order to like, manage an agency. And at the end of the day, what I also realized talking to agency owners that like managing clients and those client interaction are probably the biggest part of their management, like even beyond the team and like, projects and whatnot. So that is how we started Agency Handy. There was a one or two product that we looked into the market and we thought like, fine, they have like, a position in the market. Probably we can get something similar pretty quick, and we can grab like, huge portion of the market. I would still say we are at the earlier stage of like, the product life cycle, because we had a like, basic layout planned in terms of, okay, we need this and this for the product to be competitive in the market. I would still say we are probably not necessarily competitive, but more like comprehensive in the market. So I'd say we are 2 3 months away from it. After that, the plan is to add stuff that probably no one else has in the market. So there are a few like more ideas that we have, and that is where like we want to focus on. But yeah, it's been quite a fun journey doing this.
Nice. So, well, that makes me excited. You're just like, hey, so are you telling us you're about a month away from perfection? Is that what you're saying? From having the
I
ultimate
won't
tool?
say I won't say perfection. So I would say we have like two major features that even launched now. Like two major features were requested by most users. So one was some level of time tracking to expense tracking, so that they can make sure that every customer in itself is worthwhile. And then another is a communication tool, so so that they can have chat with customers. Other than that, every other thing that has been requested are very minor sort of stuff. So
Hmm.
these are like not 2 3 days work. So these are the only two features that we have been requested that I say would take up an entire sprint in order to like develop something like that, right? So Other than that, these are all sort of integrations. Integration can take up time depending upon the other like as well. For example, payment integrations in general, not that challenging technically, but very challenging when it comes to bureaucratic process and a lot of legal process we have to go through when it comes to when it comes to any level of technical any level of. So I would say, yeah. So we are probably 2 to 3 months away from fulfilling most of the requests that we have in the roadmap. After that, we
Yep.
have a bunch of other interesting stuff that we want to do with automation, with introducing interesting workflows. Probably won't get into a lot of project management stuff, but idea is to build interesting agents to automate workflows and basically to make life easier. That is simply.
Okay, so 2 to 3 months away from you guys thinking that, or just looking at your sprint and what's going on, you'd say there's some things that on there that you wanted to get accomplished. So I think you said one was a couple more integrations. Was that one that you said, or what?
Yeah.
You got any other major? What is the major number one requested integration you think right now that everybody's looking for?
So in general, it's payment. So what happens is, say,
Hmm.
someone from China yesterday told us that they want Alipay and WeChat integrated. We
Hmm.
have few customers from Netherlands who want ideal payment gateway to be integrated. So in general, these are payment gateways where beyond Stripe and PayPal, people want their sort of the local prominent payment gateway to be
Right.
integrated.
Hmm.
I would say that is number one. And
So can you be? My question is, can you be all things to all people when it comes to payment gateways?
yeah,
I mean, I've seen some where they allow maybe a link, a hyperlink to a payment gateway until they're able to do that. But I don't know how well that's going to go. You're going to try to build out 4 or 5 more payment gateways in there. I don't have anything against that. I think because I use Stripe and because I use PayPal, I can selfishly be saying that. But I'm saying for a company that's trying to grow from being bootstrapped, can you literally put in all of those payment gateways?
so in as I said, when it comes to payment gateways, right? The technical part in general, although there is challenges most times, but those are things that can be handled, right? But the problem is more in terms of the legal side of things. So
Mm,
the first thing is we end up being a payment processor in some sort. So we are not
sure,
someone who makes the payment. We are someone who takes up the payment. So that in itself confuses a lot of payment gateway providers. So for
sure.
example, we have been in talks with Razorpay for let's say a month or so, and even now, as of now, although we have had like several 4 or 5 meetings, if I'm not wrong, but we are not uh, we haven't been given any clear direction in terms of okay, this is how you can integrate. We have done all the R&D from a technical side of things. We know what to do in order to integrate, but unless we get their permission or their access to APIs, there's not a lot we can do about it. So that
Oh,
is
I
the
see.
only problem. Yeah, if someone, one thing that we are trying to solve in this way, say for example, if someone has Stripe, so Stripe lets you integrate your WeChat Pay account, Alipay account, Ideal Payment. So this sort of stuff, most popular payment gateways. So what we will do is we'll open those for people. So at least if you have Stripe, you can let your customers pay through your Alipay and WeChat Pay.
Right.
But you need to have Stripe. So that is I'd say some level of compromise. But there are quite a few countries where Stripe and PayPal are like if not available, very hard to get. So, for example, in India, most people don't have access to Stripe and people because it's very hard to open an account there. And similar to
Mm,
in Bangladesh, as similar in Pakistan and quite a few other countries. In a lot of European countries, for example, we have lost recently two monthly recurring clients because they simply couldn't pay through cards in Stripe. For some reason, there's some level of restriction in that in Netherlands.
Right.
So those of things. So ideally, yeah, we would love to like integrate as many payment gateways as possible. Not sure like how feasible that is, but at least have plans to integrate two three major ones like so that like a Razorpay that probably covers India and some level of demography, and Alipay probably covers like China as a demography. So at least if not all of them, at least give them one option. Like so if you are from a major demography where Stripe and PayPal especially are not available, okay,
Hmm.
at least you have one other option that you can get it. So that is the idea there.
All right. So let's talk about. I'm gonna pull the deal up here, and I think some people. We do have one question, and someone was asking, and he was asking, is embeds inside the platform available now, or if not, do you have an ETA of that?
So embedded is not available as of right now.
Mm.
The ETA would be we plan on start working on it next week. I'm hopeful that it should be live before the deal runs out. So maybe a week or two, it should be live. Like at least
Oh,
within this month, that is the like target to launch it with by the end of this month.
okay. I think the answer to this is yes. So this is Perry. She's a strong supporter of the channel. Are we able to add upsells at checkpoint at checkout? I think
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I thought you could. Yeah, you can add checkouts. You can add upsells at checkout. Does it have to be from the same group of things? Like I know on the catalog, you can group the catalog. Like you can put shirts here and then you can put pants here as different groups. Can I sell pants from the shirts group like
Yeah,
that?
there's no dependency. So we have order
Okay.
form. So what happens is when go to order form, there are
Uh-huh.
two ways you can sort of upsell. So one is there are services we say add-ons. So those are more like small set of services, say like on
Mhm.
a small consulting or something. Uh, in those you can add like add on to a service, and you can also link another other service as well. So it's
Mm,
completely up to you. Like there is no restriction.
okay. So I think we have another question here, and I think that's going to have. Let me pull the deal in so we can take a look at it here. So one of the questions, remove that. So one of the questions was the web. Is it the web hooks? Let me see. Can you break down a better
Yeah.
understanding? He said, can you break down a better understanding of the credits and webhooks and how much tier 3 would typically handle? So you have credits? Oh yeah, you have credits, the webhook credits. And I think
Yeah.
he's asking about like a tier 3, 15,000 web. So these are webhook events. So when you're connecting to another API, it's using credits to connect and pass that information, or
Right. So basically, it's like most other API integration, just because like not a lot of in some cases. So for example, just to give you a very simple idea, say like you are managing your leads in a Google Sheet, and you want to like get to a point where if A happens, then I want this event to be triggered within the software. Like, we also have a lead management. You say, okay, fine. If someone gets to there, then I want this to be added there, or like I want this email to be sent, something like that. So you send up some level of automation there. So that would be one event, right? So that triggering would be one event. And
and then
now
what credit? How many credits would that be one credit?
that would be one credit, right?
Hmm. Okay. So
So we
every
would every
connection,
event,
go ahead.
yeah, every event within those connections triggers one event. So like then however much you use.
So if I connected, if I brought information in, someone fills out a form on there, then I want that person to maybe go down a drip campaign on one of my on
Yeah.
active campaign or convert kit. If I brought them in from agency handy and I sent them out, that's one credit.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make Hopefully, did that answer your question, Coco Chris? Hopefully, that answered your question. Um, so that would be that. Okay, so that you'd have 15,000. Coco, you'd have about 15,000 credits, and if you're running low, just don't pass anymore into the next month. I guess I don't know. But that. So let me ask you this question. So is that 15,000 per workspace or aggregate over all? If I have 10, if I have five, what does he have? If I have five workstations, is that 15,000 per workstation or 15,000 aggregate over all five workspaces?
Webhooks and storage are aggregated, so these are not per workspace basis.
Hmm.
Everything else is per workspace basis.
Okay,
Because
so
we
it's
calculate on our system, we calculate webhooks for you as a company. So why we kept it as a company level.
okay. Okay, so I just want to clear this up and even clear this up for the audience. So
Yeah.
basically everything else stands in its own workspace outside of custom emails and webhooks. But everything else,
No, storage and webhooks are company.
so storage, webhooks,
Total
and
storage,
then
yeah. These are the two ones for company level.
okay. So those so storage and webhooks. So this storage is three gigabytes is aggregate
No, no,
over
not this. No, the total storage one, the 2 terabyte one. So I'll just clarify.
oh
So the 1 GB or 2 GB per file that you can upload. So it's like the biggest file that you can upload. So that is independent. It doesn't matter whether it's workspace or company. So the total
okay.
storage, the 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, that is the one is company. So that is an aggregate of all those workspaces, similar to Webhooks. So Webhooks is also aggregate of all the workspaces, and the event count will be counted from a company's point of view.
Got it. So it's the webhooks. So it's the webhooks and then it's the total storage. Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. So individual storage is that how much you can do as an individual file or how much
Individual file.
per workspace? Individual file.
Individual file, yeah.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So then we have um so I don't know if he'll be able to answer this one. I'm gonna come back to your question, Mr. and Mrs. King Kong. Is it King? It's Kong. All right. So are we able to customize a sidebar on the client side? That's a good question. The
So as
sidebar.
of right
So
now,
on the side, are you I'm gonna clarify with Perry. Are
yeah,
you
sure.
saying, Perry, are you asking can your logo be there or can you asking
No, I don't need to
on
say
that?
that thing. I think
Okay.
she, I can understand what she's indicating. So basically, like from what I could understand, the
Mm,
customization would mean exactly she would want to link other softwares, probably even like pick and choose within the features we have. Okay, I want to show customers this. I don't want to show customers that, something like this. So yeah, that is something. So we will work on that along with embedded. So once embedded is done, I think that feature is on in a group sort of manner. So we'll try to see if we can also bring this up as well as along with embedded, but it should be live pretty soon because this is one
so
of one of the features that has been quite heavily requested from users.
I think that's a good question, and that would be the next question that I would ask is. So she's saying this over here. Could we put our own knowledge base right here, help files, or contact me or get to some other link here. So basically, I guess what she'd be looking for is a place for us to rename or create a new, or maybe how have you seen them where you can put the eyelid, close the eyelid. That means don't show this and then show something else there, then put an actual link there to go somewhere else. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
basically, honestly, that is roughly what we want to do with embedded, to give you that ability to add different sort of leads. So that can be say like an easy link. So you want to give clients an easy access to book meetings. Very very
Right.
makes a lot of sense. Something like that. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna open up this next question because are you familiar? You're not familiar with Sweet Dash at all, right, Rashik? You're not. You
I'm
don't know
pretty
about Sweet Dash,
familiar with
huh?
I'm pretty familiar with that thing.
Yeah.
Not
So
sure
his
exactly in
question.
terms of features, but yeah, but I've like
Yeah.
I know
So his
about that.
question is, what makes uh um Agency Handy stand out from Sweet Dash? I know a couple things already, but since you are familiar with them, I'll go ahead and let you answer a few of your questions when it comes to that. Or unless you want,
I'll
did you want me to lead with a couple of them, or to give you a chance, or you got it? You got it?
if you
Because I
want,
own,
you can go through that. Yeah,
huh?
I'll have to
You want?
look through what they have right now. They have a bunch of features. So I was like, yeah, that is all good. If you have something, you can. No worries.
Well, so I know Sweet Dash has SMTP, right?
Right.
And speaking of which, did you make a decision on the email yet? Or are you going to get back to me on that privately? Do you remember the conversation about the email having the same domain name and stuff?
I don't think so. We have made decision yet because that is more of a technical decision. I've informed the team. I think they're supposed to get back to me within a day or so. Because that is not really honestly as a business decision. It's more on a technical side of things that what can be
Okay.
done right now.
Okay. Yeah. So Sweet Dash has SMTP. They have it's 100% white label where you can add. I think what Perry was saying was you can change that whole menu on the side. You can hide every button on there and only have one button open up. And the reason why I think sometimes that's important is because you may be working with a client and they see all those buttons, they may get overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
so I've seen that. And I think on Sweet Dash, you can limit that. And says, you know what? And I've seen that happen. And that happens to me sometimes. I get on and say, whoa, this is way too many buttons. And maybe that's something where, and then you can hide some of the ones. And that's more if you as an agency or bringing in another agency underneath you, you may not want them to have access to everything that you have access to. So I guess that sounds like
Yeah.
something you guys are thinking about. In fact, okay, okay.
So I'd say, to be honest, that is, I'm not sure, to what extent they do it, but I would say, from most client portal, and this is where I would say there is a bit of difference in terms of how we do is as the whole service catalog thing. So I would say, uh, most portals apart from, and I'll mention, apart from I'd say SPP, are the ones who start their journey from onboarding a client. I think our journey goes a step backward. So within whole service catalog with it, all the add-ons and other stuff, and I think it probably goes a bit unnoticed in some cases, but I think from the development point of view, I think we have spent roughly 50% of our development timeline just on the service catalog side of things because it is very complicated. So as of right now, we have a bunch of niche stuff, but I don't think so a lot of people uh, are even aware of. So for example, you can pick and choose that, for this service I want people to use Stripe. For this I want people to use PayPal. For this I want people to use bank transfer, stuff like that. I want X client to not be able to see this particular offering, or X client to be
Oh,
able to see this. So you have all this bunch of nuanced options that we already have.
oh,
And for
okay.
example, we are planning on giving you option to add your custom CSS as well. So basically, you can turn your catalog page into a very simple, simplified landing page as well, and then you have all the abilities. So I'd say that
Mm,
is where the biggest difference lies. And the second thing is that this is a weird thing to package as a feature, but I don't really want to get to a point where we have so as many features as Swedish, because honestly, when I looked into Swedish website, it just made me overwhelmed, because there is just too many stuff. There's just you are also doing email marketing campaigns and all the other stuff, and at that point of time I was just like, yeah, sure, you can do everything, but then it's very difficult to do. So we'll probably never really get to this sort of extent.
mhm.
Well, the plan is to, our plan is honestly, uh, you to be able to onboard clients as efficiently as you want and manage whatever the client life cycle looks like. So anything that is close to that, will work on it. But other than that, probably won't go to extend lead management or extensive. So for example, we have email automation as a feature that planned out. So that would be part of a help desk that we are planning to build. So it will be something we wanted to be a bit smarter. So for example, it might be not necessarily in any shape or form close to it, but similar to what say like an intercom does. So for example, it gives you ability to turn a message into a ticket, email into a ticket, those sort of things. So we want this to be a bit more smarter, and actually handle stuff that you are manually right now. So the email automation, in email automation, it might be okay, fine. I want my clients to have this email, then this follow-up email. Again, very client focused, but it won't have an email marketing feature where you can say send hundreds of emails, thousands of email to your customers, or leads. So that is how we think about the product itself. But I would say the service part of thing is probably where it's significantly different from most other software market.
Yeah, I mean, and my comment on that, as we kind of get to a point, my comment on that is when I think of Sweet Dash, I think of um, a client portal, an individual client portal, um, where you can manage the client and you can do like individual, you can exchange emails with them and you say, hey, send me this file, and they'll send you the file. You said, all right, I'm looking over it. All right, I'll get it back to you and I'll drop it back in your Dropbox file. So it can kind of take you down an individual path where the agency handle is more once a person finds a service that they want from your catalog, you then can service them from there. So it's they're two different tools in my opinion. They're vastly different because they have a community feature that's built on, they have a learning management system that's built into it. So it kind of takes it to a personal level, whereas this is one where you turn out projects. So I would say that this was more agency handle is more you can hire me for a project for a month or 30 days. And then if you want to upgrade or come back and do some other project, you can hire us to do another project for you. Whereas Sweet Dash, you can kind of use as a coaching portal and can do a lot of personal things for your clients and have so the two are vastly different. I just think they're two different tools. I want to move off of that subject here really quick. And you can give me later on that, Kong. I can probably even show you. You're part of my community. I'll be able to get with you and kind of talk to you about that a little bit later. So the question from Adrian, she always asks these real deep technical questions. She's a deep thinker. She's probably laughing when I said that. Is there a dashboard report where I can see my team members, their workload, their status, timeline of projects, on track, behind, or project pipeline? How many projects just started, and so on and so forth? I think there is. I don't know if it's that detailed, but I think it is one now.
So
right?
I won't say like there's a bit again, like even if you look into the dashboard, it's very client centric. So it shows what are the tickets that are open, what are what are the recent orders that are going on, much money you've made, all the clients and stuff. So it's not what she is asking. So in terms of reports, I would say the way we planned it out was we had a feature all lined up to like start development I think last week. So it was a time tracker and expense tracker, and within the tracker, we were planning on to introduce another tab called report. In that, you'd have all summaries of everything that is happening within your organization. But honestly, when we launched in AppSumo, there was a bunch of other stuff requested, and seemed like not a lot of people wanted time tracker. So we thought, okay, fine. Throughout the deal period, we'll probably put that on hold and do like the stuff that people are requesting right now, just so that we're up to speed with them. And then once the deal is done, then we can move into more on a report side of things. But in terms of report, I'm not sure we'll ever really go that deep into workload management, what
Mhm.
everyone is doing really on a very nitty gritty level. Again, I our reports would probably be a lot more focused on client side of things. So, for example, the reason we are bringing this expense tracker give you an idea whether say a particular client is profitable or not. But to make our goal with this solution is to get it to a point where it can make intelligent business decision for you. So for example,
Oh,
which clients are actually profitable, which regions are actually making over the most amount of, what sort of clients are making most of the money, which what's the next step that you should do. So again,
oh,
very
okay. So you're
client
gonna
focused.
build,
So
yeah. So you're gonna
yeah, so
build
we
that
will be
in. So
getting, sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. No, I was, and I remember now a question somebody asked you was, are you gonna make some fields here embeddable? So I may want to embed my own chart or something here. I thought that was something that you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So from here, so maybe there is something that someone needs, but if they have another chart, they can embed it in here. Is that? I think you said that's something that you guys were thinking about possibly doing.
Yeah, so those again, those are also very client focused. So, for example, say we have a lot of ACU agencies, right? So, what happens with them is on their client dashboard, they want to show things like, say, they're using a Looker Studio or even just a Google Analytics, right? They want to show within Google Analytics, so man, these are the this
Right.
is what we are doing. So,
Hmm.
within the embedded apps, we are planning all of these use cases. So, these are probably will try to cover all of this when we launch the embedded app as a feature, not only in sidebar but also in in how we can do it in dashboard. So for example, how we can do it in services, a few people requested to be able to embed videos on services, right? So they have a YouTube video somewhere. So
Hmm.
trying to cover as many use cases with that. And that's why probably it's taking a bit of time because you have to understand all the niche cases there is. But yeah, we will give you the feature to be able to build embed other dashboards or analytics if you want. It can even be, we have probably thought about it as well. We had a brief discussion. Say some of our users use some level of project management software on top of this. So they have
Yeah.
complex workflows, automations
Yeah.
that they want to do, and we will
Yeah.
never really handle those. So they have say they have a ClickUp setup. So a lot of
Yeah.
them also ask if we can get a few data points from ClickUp and show it in our dashboard as well. So in this way, they come into this dashboard and that is all they have to see. So yeah, those
Mm.
things are more like what we might do, but I don't think on a team point of view will go in depth in terms of reporting. It will always be focused in terms of having making you or let make better decisions in
Better
terms of
decisions as
clients
an
and
agency. Yeah. So
yeah.
let me ask you this question. I haven't I haven't gone in far enough to know the client side, but what does the client see on their side, or what in your idea? You don't want the client to see everything. They don't see the
Right.
same menu I see. So what do they actually see? They can only really see their project and where it's at or where it's going, or what as
So
far as the
right
product?
now, most of so right now, as we don't have the sidebar setting, so the sidebar itself is sort of fixed when it comes to a client. So clients can see their dashboard, clients can see their invoices, clients can see the services, uh, their orders, tickets, and subscriptions. So and files. So these are the stuff that clients can see. The caveat is they only get to see what you let them see. So, for example, invoices is very intuitive. Like what invoices you have sent them. If they have any subscription set up with you, they see that. If you so within files, we create a folder with the client name automatically when someone comes on board. So we automatically create a folder. So everything that you share, so it can be files that you shared within task, it can be files shared in text form. Everything that is shared that is related to that client will automatically get stored in that folder. So client will have access to that folder because it makes sense. But apart from that, there's a lot of stuff that you can also control. So, for example, in order, say you have 5 tasks, and like you might not want clients to see all the 5 tasks. Like there's something that you need to get done by yourself, right? So, uh, basically that is why so you can either give them access or not. It's completely on you. Again, with services as well, you can give them access or not access for you. So clients see a very similar issue, but it's just restricted to their own things, so their own order, their own services.
So I think that answered your question, Perry. Here's a question here. Mr. Kong, he's like, hey, listen, Kang. I keep saying Kong. I think my eyes are good. So, Mr. Kang, he says, honestly, this tool is very expensive for a new tool. How long have you been in business? How many recurring paying clients do you have? And what's your plans for staying afloat long term? You set up for that one.
Okay. Yeah.
you said you
So
said
yeah.
you set up for that question. So how do we want to handle this question? I mean, as far as let's. He's saying the tool is very expensive. I mean, that's interpretation, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm just that's what he's feeling. So he's like, if a person's going to come and invest, let's say they buy a tier 5 at $1,059 one time, a big upfront investment. What if you're not here next year? That's $1,000 gone. And I guess he's kind of want to know, hey, do you have any recurring clients now? And we've seen founders come to AppSumo, and next thing you know, they're running ads on Facebook. Then the next thing you know, they're out of business. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you plan to get new clients? I mean, it's a word of mouth. You're gonna run a affiliate program. You're gonna because I'll tell you right now, affiliate. Uh, um, if I'm running an agency, I'm not going to be telling everybody about that agency I'm running. I want to be the agency runner. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know
Yeah.
if a lot of founders know that. They just assume that, oh, we have a good product. Other agency owners will tell other agency owners. That's not how that works. I think the reason why Go High Level was so successful was if I do tell you about my agency, then I want to get paid off of your agency and all the agencies you run underneath it. That was the secret. People kept wondering what is the secret power to Go High Level. It's really if I share and tell somebody about it, then I get paid off everybody in the down line from that. Other than that, no one's going to tell. I'm going to be using Agency Handy, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to tell a whole lot of people I'm using Agency Handy. Not because it's good. It's just that I don't want them to know what I'm using. And a lot of
Yeah.
LTD users are like that. That's why we get very sensitive about white label and stuff like that, because we want people to know, hey, we got an exclusive tool, we got an exclusive deal. You got to find one on your own. That's what I'm saying for an agency tool. Now, there's other tools I'll probably tell people
Yeah.
about that I wouldn't mind doing affiliate pay from, but not an agency tool. So I'm interested to know what your strategy is at, if you even thought of it, and then maybe you and I can talk offline and I can give you some ideas. So what are you thinking, or what do you have there on that? That was a lot.
No, no, that's completely right. So at first, I said it to every client as well. if you are, you know, if you are averse to that extent and completely understand, you can always get a, like, you know, small MRR package, like, you know, it just covers you. You pay 59 $69 or $50 a month, and then, like, you're set. You're set. If we ever go bust, we go bust, and then you don't have to pay us anything after that. So, and to be honest, we have seen quite a few people choosing MRR instead of LTD because LTD seemed expensive. It's like, yeah, fair enough. I would rather, like, you know, you pay for MRR,
Hmm.
and so that's good for me anyway. So, other than that, to be honest, uh, giving very exact numbers, I would say uh, the way we are progressing, hopefully end of next quarter, we should be profitable as a company. That is what
So how do
our
you
current
how do you
approach.
so how do you remain profitable? That's the challenge in this environment, in this AI, this flight to AI and all that other stuff. I mean, I could see you creating an intelligent agency that allows me to stay profitable and allows me to find a way. And I know the way, kind of the way AppSumo structures their deals, it's kind of hard for you to grow and or have add-ons in the back. Like, what if I wanted to get more workspaces, right? And I know kind of the way they build. I understand it's hard to do sometimes, but what if I needed more workspace? What if I'm doing so good I need more workspaces? That would keep you in business, though, right? If I needed to buy more workspaces, right?
Yeah. So honestly,
You
to
keep
be
saying
really honest,
honestly, so I'm like, honestly, you say honestly.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
wait a minute, is he tell? He's you're saying a lot. So I'm sorry to cut you off. So go ahead and finish. I'm sorry. I really like your
So
tool. I want you guys to be around. So that's why I'm saying
I think, like, for any like, you know, SaaS founder who has been in the space for a while, I think expecting to turn quite a few AppSumo users into, like, you know, recurring clients is probably not a very good strategy. I think at like, you know, when you're doing an LTD, I think you should expect that that is going to be, if someone converts, fair enough, because like, you know, when we launched in Rocket, I think uh, roughly a year back. Over the last year, I think we've been able to convert 1 to 2 people probably to monthly recurring.
sure.
Some of the users who required more, something like that, something that you mentioned, like doing so well that you need more workspaces, they would rather wait till, like, you know, if we have another active deal and they can upgrade, and or they will text us and, like, you know, support chat saying that, you know, they want to get the higher tier, like, you know, that they didn't get the last time. So those sort of things happen. So I don't really expect, like, you know, have some users to get into that. So our, for right now, our biggest channel of sources are SEO. So that's why I'm not that bothered, because it's not built upon, like, you know, spending money on ads. So it's more like SEO and a bit of LinkedIn content. So we generate leads roughly through LinkedIn quite a bit. And other than that, it's primarily SEO. So the way that our SEO is progressing, I would say, just on the back of that, we should become profitable. And after this month, we have, once AppSumo deal is closed, uh, we have a pretty extensive, like, you know, marketing campaign up. So as I said, like, I'm expecting within 2 3 months we become profitable. And the thing that you asked was, like, you know, how stay profitable. I would say one of the good things has been that we don't have a lot of time. So say we have 50 users using the platform, we'll probably see 2 to 3 will drop out over a quarter, something like that. Because these are difficult to, like, get on board, because you have to change a lot of stuff in your process and everything. But also means that it is very hard to get these products as well. So um, that means, like, most customers that we have been pretty loyal with us. So I'm not sure, like, you know, that's I can't guarantee that that's going to continue. But that's also one of the reasons with SEO as well, because we have been able to slowly rank to quite a few. The word I try to use is money word. So like the like in your alternating your versus content, so stuff like that.
Yeah, but
So
SEO as a whole, because of AI, SEO is changing. So
SEO is
SEO is
changing. For
already.
example, I think last month we got 10 plus signups from what ChatGPT. We got signups from Perplexity. We got signups from like other AI products. So we are
No, it's
also like training those models on our data as well. So when I
mm,
say SEO, I generally mean in search engine. I am like accumulating other stuff as well. So right now, I think in Perplexity for two, three, four of our competitors, if you search for like alternate product, you will come up first. So we are trying
mm.
to like get to a point where most of the searches are using. So any level of search. So yeah, search is changing. So with that, we also have to change, and that is sort of like given. But yeah, I think
All right, so we
the with the way setup, I'm not like honestly, I'm not really that bothered because uh, even with AppSumo launch, I got in AppSumo last month from one of our earlier launch in Black Friday. I had two, three customers reach out to me saying that if we are looking to raise money, that they're like willing to invest. I said, we honestly don't really need money. We need the money. So it's like, yeah, fair enough. So and like our burn is so low. I have like if I want, I have actual capital that I can raise probably for next 2 3 years. That's pretty easily doable for us.
so you
But
guys have
that's a
it sounds like
decision.
you guys sound like you guys keep a low overhead. You don't have high expense
Yeah,
costs.
yeah,
So what's your
yeah,
now server costs for SaaS? Normally, that once that cost kicks in, or sometimes that takes a lot of companies out, just the server costs and all that other stuff. Um, Especially on the LTD, because the LTD is a sunken cost, right? Once a person makes it, once you get that money from AppSumo, like you got it from Rocket, I think it was Rocket SaaS or whoever this was a year ago. Once you got that money, now you're back here on AppSumo, and then it's like, man, okay, so now you're going to get money from AppSumo, and I guess and I mean, that's an interesting question, and you have a good product, and I just think that I don't want to, and this is me personally, and I know you didn't get on here for this, but I don't want to we're getting to the point now where money is hard to come by, right? Because we're moving into a contractionary period. Definitely over here in the US, and with all the
yeah,
political risks that we have, if I go and fork out $700-800 for agency handy, and then next year or the year after they got to, because I'm going to build a full business model around them using at least 7 or 8 workstations. I'll be making money, but I've already paid my initial cost, and it's like you're not seeing anything on your end to help me, because, and I'll say this, and as we wrap up, and one of the things that I work with a couple of founders in the past is listen, I don't want to build a business around your business now making 5-10 grand a month and you're making nothing. Because if I'm making 5-10 grand a month, I don't want that 5-10 grand to stop, because I've already built a solid business plan around your business. So I'm not, even if I have 10 workstations, if I'm making 1,000 per workstation a month, I'm making 10 grand. I would only want to say, all right, I'm gonna buy a whole nother I'll buy a whole nother one and I need another 10 workstations. I'm making 10 grand a month already. And for your monthly service, I don't know, $100, $200 a month. Say I'm paying you $500 a month just to create another store for another 10 users, but I'm making 10 grand a month. Does that make sense? I mean, and so you have to kind of find a model that's going to allow. One of the things I've been telling the founders is, if everybody can eat, if the end user that's buying my service, their services are being improved, I'm being improved because I'm using your software. I need you to eat. 3 people need to be able to eat and always eat. in order for everybody to continue to move forward. I know I kind of got on a little soapbox there, but I've shared that with other founders. And once they've kind of figured that out, because I don't want you to go away. If I get a business model making 10 grand a month, I do not want agency handy to go away. I'm not going to step up and say, hey, I'll invest in your company or I'll buy it or anything like that. I don't have that kind of time. I just want you to have a solid, I want you to have a solid runway so everybody wins. And if that's me saying, hey, I'll pay you $300, $400, $500 a month for this or another piece that I need, then I'll do that. But I don't want you to cut off my 10 grand a month either. Because you can come, we've getting these emails lately and it's like, hey, with a heavy heart, we're sorry to tell you that we're going out of business. I'm like, so there, my entire 10 grand a month is going away. Does that make, so those are the things that those are decisions I need you to think about. I have your contact information. We'll connect on WhatsApp. We need to make this happen because I've invested a lot. I'm thinking about full stacking, but now I don't know because I'm hearing your answer is not that clear to me. I do like your tool, but I
Yeah.
got to at least have a 5-year run out of this, man. Because I'm going to build a nice
So
business around this. I am. Go ahead.
yeah, so I'll just sort of like help you clear thoughts. So, and this is the conversation that I had with when we launched in AppSumo as well. So AppSumo asked us whether we have a 2-month 2-year runway in our bank account and stuff. I said no. So then they were like very worried that why is that the case and everything. So I was like, I'll give you a very clear picture
Yeah,
from the
sure.
context that we have. I think we have the 4 or 5 people that we have in the company. Each and every one of them are able to run this company on their own for years. That's the sort of partners that we have. And I'm meaning financially. So even if we don't make a single money out of it, we can run this company. So the funding and those set of things are not an issue. Secondly, this is internally funded. So uh, from other than what we got from LTD, we have been in this business for 1.5 years. So it takes a lot of money to build a software outright. So
Sure. Sure.
everything has been internally funded, and we had internal conversation that we wanted to fund even more. One of the partners actually wanted to fund even more, and that's the decision that we took as a company, because we wanted to get to a point where we become profitable. We didn't want to just raise for the sake of raising.
Yeah.
There is no reason behind it. So we thought, and given that we could see that we are roughly adding 1,000 MRR or something like this every month. Our burn is sub $10,000. That is including the team cost, overhead, server cost, everything. So it is not a lot, sub
What's
$10,000. So
that?
if we get to
What's
10
that
get
word again? We call it overhead, but you're calling it something else. Bar? Is that what you're calling it? The
no, I'm
monthly.
saying that
No, no. I just want to know
monthly
what that word,
burn
what that
burn.
barn,
So
burn.
barn, yeah. So this is something that I'd say, if you talk to VCs, they use the word quite a bit. What is your burn? So basically, how much money you are burning through every month. So
Oh,
like
burn.
say
B
you
B B U R
burn,
N.
BURN, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
burn,
burn. Okay, so yeah, it's a burn rate.
yeah,
So I'm familiar with that.
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
what you were
right,
saying.
yeah,
Okay, so your burn rate is low. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes
yeah.
sense. All right, so
So
let's
yeah, I said this to anyone, we are here for the long haul. I have there is no possible way we are going out of business in any terms.
we
I can get you.
so the funny part about that as we wrap up is there is a
Yeah,
tool. I'm not even going to say the name because people get mad at me when I say the name, but this had to be the best tool. And I
yeah,
think I think what they did is they just gave away so much for free that it came back to bite them. And you have your tool, and I'm gonna let you know this, right? And Perry saying your product is very good and prefer you guys to stay around. Service Provider Pro is expensive, probably because they don't have a competitor yet. I don't even know who they
yeah.
are. And I,
You should
I,
check them
I'm
out.
I'm gonna check them out. But what I'm telling you right now is with your tool, the way it's set up, the reason why I bought at least a tier 4 is I can have a business model that can generate a lot of revenue from agency handy. I don't want to do that. And then I roll out of bed and wake up and I read an email. It's the first thing, sometimes you get up, you get out of bed, and you say, what? They're gone.
Yeah.
That means 10 grand that I'm making a month is gone. And I don't want that. And I'm just, you guys, because you guys, and you know this already. You know this. And if you're
Yeah.
not knowing this, I'm gonna tell you right now. Agency Handy is pretty darn good. From where it's at right now, it's good. And I like it, and I can see once I met with your technical team and they showed me I had so many ideas popped into my head. So Agency Handy is a very, very good tool. It's one of the best agency tools that I've seen come through, right? For building out an agency with a catalog. It's very tight, it's very neat. And I'm letting you know that because I don't want to sink all of my money into you guys and you guys go away. And you're saying, hey, Jenny, we can assure you we're not going away. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going on your word on that. And I'm going on your word on
So
that.
no, I think I'll just end it on this note because, like, someone mentioned SPP. I already mentioned it. So the full form is Service Provider Pro. So they have, just to give you an context, their 50 user package is $1,500 a month. So they are that expensive. And I think we are in talks to onboard the guy who wrote their first review. So I think over our LTE, we have been able to onboard at least 40 to 50 SPP user. In MRR, we probably have 5 to 10 more. So, like, they have, I'd say, I'm not sure about the number, but they should have, like an above 500K MRR, like from the custom domains that I could see, probably 500,000 or million or something like that. So they are doing pretty well. So
Mm-hmm.
when I saw a lot of companies were, willing to give up SPP to come to agency, and that's sort of like, okay, fine. Now I'm very certain that, okay, fine, this is gonna work because then there's no reason for that to not work anyway. So yeah.
So I just pulled it up here, and a 10 team member, what would that be equivalent to what you guys? Because I have 10 workspaces. Would that be equivalent to 10 workspaces? A 10 team member?
No,
I know you don't
it's a
know.
one. So 10
Wait,
team member.
hold on. That's one workstation?
Yeah, they don't have multiple workspaces. They have one workspace. They don't even have the multiple workspace as a feature.
Are
So
you
that's what
kidding?
I'm saying.
Oh my goodness. And people don't know? People don't know about this? Are you kidding? So you got these workstations. That's why you need to survive, Rashik. So we need to stay in touch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure
Yeah.
you survive because you're not gonna mess my 10 grand a month up. All right. So I'm
We're
gonna
not
make
gonna
sure.
do that. Don't
All
worry.
right. So no, I appreciate you. And this is one of the tougher interviews that I've had in a long time. And I think it's getting like this because founders would come on as we wrap up, founders would come on and we'd be like, yeah, and then everything was fine. Now my money's getting tight, man. Money's getting tight.
Yeah.
And it's like if I spend $700-800 on a tool, now I'm basically paying for maybe a year or two in advance. It's kind of, I mean, if you do the monthly, you're paying. I'm betting that you're going to be here 2 years from now. So I'm putting my money up front. You see what I'm saying? And so now, but it's so tight, and that's the reason why I bring that up. So I appreciate you even sitting through this. We're definitely going to take another. We're definitely going to take a look at that. No, that's one spray. That's crazy. So they want $300, and so let's go back up to Kang's question. Kang was like,
to make matters worse. So when you pay them the $300, right?
yeah,
They
$300.
still don't let you remove the powered by SPP tagline.
No,
That
no
is that you can
way.
only remove at the $1,500 package. So that's why I when
1,500.
I was answering this question about expense, I didn't really want to address it, but that is why, our prices are the way they are. So it's like,
He said, I didn't want to address it, but now since it's here, so I'm going back
yeah.
to Kang's question. He's like, hey, this is a very expensive new tool. not in the grand scheme of things. Not in the grand scheme of things. This is, let me show this. So we're about to get you some business now. So we're about to get you some business. So listen up, people. So this is, and I'm bringing this up. He's not bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. I just found him online. This is SPP. What is it? Service. What is it called? Service Provider Pro.
Provider.
I and like Perry said, who's very, very smart and sharp. She's like, wait a minute, they so freaking high because they ain't got no competitors. But then we get here, and I'm looking here. It's like, wait, you want $1,500 just to remove your? You want $1,500 just to remove powered by, right? And here it is. I built a dashboard here, right? I built a dashboard here, got my own logo here, my own catalog. Doesn't say powered by nothing. And I spent what, I don't know, $600 for a lifetime deal, one-time cost. That is good math. That's why you need to be around. Come on, Rashik, man. We got to work this out. I'm gonna call you, dude. I'm gonna call you. We're gonna work this. I'm gonna give you my WhatsApp. I'm gonna give you my WhatsApp. I'm gonna give you my, we got it. You got it, because you now it's personal for me. And it's about me, everybody. Now it's about me and my 10K I'm about to make. I haven't made 10K yet, but I do have a plan to put that together. That's interesting. So they want and then the $299. So $299. Who's paying this? Well, I guess an agency. If an agency is making $5-10 grand a month, they can afford the $299. Oh wow.
They're very popular. I think so. I like their most popular niche is actually in SEO space. So a lot of SEO link building agencies use the product, and they're like, you talk to anyone who's been in the SEO space for 5+ years, they know about it, SPP. Every one of them know about SPP.
So why they don't know about you? They're gonna know about you when I get
a lot
done.
a lot of them have converted from SPP to our platform. Even I think right now we are in talks with 3-4 people who went through our SPP alternative product, because as I said, like in the get go, that the service catalog thing and everything, SPP is the only other company that has anything similar to ours, right? And that is one of the core reasons why people who got into SPP could never really move out of it, because no one else was offering something similar. And like agency and is the closest thing they have. So a lot of people have moved into it, and like our plan is to basically capture most of their market. So yeah, why not?
Wow. All right, one last question. I'll take one more. Molten Real Estate, he says, hey, listen, what email marketing tool can integrate with Agency Handy? And we need to work on that. I think you guys have what? You guys have, oh no, maybe that's a different tool I'm thinking about. My bad. So what tool is it? What do you guys integrate with?
I don't think so we have anything integrated, because
the webhooks?
We wanted, webhooks you can do with any app. So as long as they have API access, you can do it any app. So we don't have native integrations, because other than, while like within our software we don't really have any spaces for email, so we need to build that part out before, like before, because if we integrate, then where do we show that integration? There's no way to like showcase that integration. So we need to build that like whole email system out ourselves. Once we do that, then we'll go into integration, but right now we don't have. And probably we won't have that to a very large extent, because as I mentioned, like probably won't get into, say, like an instantly called out event campaign, and then might do later, but it's not like really high on the priority list.
I'm listening. I'm looking at Kong. He's like, I'm gonna look at SPP, dude. We just looked at it. It's no comparison. I mean, because if you look at the word, that's no comparison. I don't know. Kong's new, right? We got to ingratiate him in, Perry and Adrian, and we'll get him, because he's coming from a true LTDer, right? We in my community is we're deploying and actually using the tools. We don't collect. As soon as we buy, we start implementing. We start trying to get our money back, get an ROI. And I'm not saying he doesn't do that, but what I'm saying is every single tool we look at, we're trying to deploy and add it with another tool, and then get our our money back. So by the time if a company does say, hey, we're going out of business, we're like, well, we've made enough money on them. So we have to now start to pivot, right? I'm going to tell you right now, if I grow my businesses like that, I'm not paying $1,500 for one
Yeah.
workspace. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so listen, hey, you stayed long enough because you kind of owed us a little bit, right? You were having some technical difficulties. So
Yeah.
we appreciate that. I'm going to leave you with a single shot, and I want you to compel the people to understand that this is the time is now, the perfect competitor to whoever else is out there. I ain't even going to call their name. Just by you telling me that, just by peers, just no, that's one works. By having one workspace and paying $300, $400, or maybe $1,500, that ain't even that's not even good math. And let me ask you this one question before I let you go. Do they have the same type of catalog that you have? I'm pretty sure they do,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to talk offline. We're going to talk. We're going
Sure.
to make this happen. So I'm going to leave you a single
Yeah.
shot. You let the people know, let the sumo links know, let the Kong, the Mr. and Mrs. Kang out there, let them know, hey, this is what's about to happen. And that way I'm going to have you on the record.
So I think if you looked into what we have done over the last 1 year, you will see we push updates every week. The software has gone from a very basic MVP to something that 100 plus agencies use on a weekly basis. So if you have an agency and if you are looking for something to manage your agencies, I think this is easily the best deal that you're going to get in the market, unless you're willing to pay for a monthly fee. And at the end of the day, we are here to stay for the long haul. The company is set up in this way that we have all the financial backing that we want, but we will soon become profitable. We don't want to go out of business. And I can assure you that as much as you don't want to lose your $600, $900, I see myself probably making millions out of it. So I would rather not lose out of that as well. So yeah, we are not going anywhere. We are here to stay. And if you are willing to be a part of the journey, like let's get on board.
All right, you guys heard it from him there. That's what he's saying. And we have to take you at your word, right? It's been a lot of founders that come here. We know the landscape is changing. We're going to take you at your word. You do have a good product, and I think I've seen two companies go down because they've took funding, and then when you take funding from investments, the investors don't know what the end users really need. But now that they
Yeah.
have so much money invested in you, they start dictating to you which way to turn. You're like, no, I'm in tune with the people. This is what they're saying they want. But the investors are like, no, we need to get the profitability this way. And you start shunning away. So I admire you guys sticking with the bootstrapping. Hey, it's been great. I appreciate you hanging out with us today. This was tough. This is the most I've been interviewing for last almost 3 years. This is by far one of the toughest, and maybe it's tough for a reason. Because I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna go on a single shot here. I'm going to single
Yeah.
shot, and I'm going to single shot here. Here's what I want you guys to know, and here's the reason why I believe this has been the toughest interview to date. The way this tool is designed and the way it's set up, that if deployed correctly, you could stand to make a lot of money in this business. What I want this particular company to do is find a way that once they leave LTD, that they open it up so everybody can make money. Because I'm telling you right now, this LTD deal, and I'm putting my face on screen, the way it's designed, the way it's set up, if it's deployed correctly, you can make a lot of money. I'm just letting you know because I've seen how it's set up. I'm going to do something. No, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm going to deploy because everybody's going to probably steal my idea. You'll just see it when it happens. I just want them to be successful. And that's the reason why I'm kind of giving them drilling them a little bit hard. And I think you guys are too, but I see the potential. I'm going to trust in them. I'm going to go, I'm all in, and we'll see where this goes. And maybe we'll look back on this video and we'll be laughing because a lot of people didn't get in on it, but I think it's a good deal, right? You don't have to get a big tier, right? Maybe a tier 2 or 3, maybe, or just to test it out, or maybe get a monthly. I mean, get an annual plan. But I really believe the way this tool is put together, it because it checks off a lot of boxes. We just got to make sure that they stay around, and I think they need to work on they need to tighten it up a little bit more on how we're going to do when we leave here. I'm saying we because I'm an indirect investor because I'm putting money in the company. So, hey, you guys have been great. Thank you guys for joining us here on the Digital Growth Hacks Club. We will be in touch. I'm going to stay in touch with Rashik. We're gonna make sure that this happen. Like, thank you guys for joining us here today. Take care. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Take care.